Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss our group project, which is a Python code for basketball arcade party game. This is usually the basketball you play in malls or in the department store. So this is a program to simulate that game and to record the score, plot the scores, and interpolate the values from the players' scores. So we have, think 230 lines, but most of it are doc strings documentations for the functions we created. So don't be intimidated. Most of it are just documentation for further development of this program. So we have here our main function. So let's run the program first and explain step by step what's happening in the program. So first we have a welcoming prompt. This is here, print here. And after that, we go to the function which is named get number of players. So here from the prompt, you have to enter the number of players who will play this game. So you have, for example, 2 players or 10 players. You have to enter how many players. So the function, the program could get the names, could list the values for each competitor in the game, and scores the value and store it in the Excel file. So let's go to the get number of players function. Just we have an integer. Of course, you have to, we are forced the program to get an integer, and instead of breaking the program when a non-integer value is provided, we added an exception for the value error. So if you put in a float or a string, the program will just print a invalid input. So let's say I put 7.5. It will say invalid input. Please enter valid input integer, and we prompt you again to. So this is while true, while the input is not integer. This value or this prompt will again and again be prompted. If we get an integer, the function, the while loop will be broken. So after, let's say you enter the right number, let's say 2 players, it will ensure that you enter the program will ensure that you enter the right number. So it will prompt you again. Is this correct? Is the number you entered of 2 players are correct? So we also here have a while loop. Yes, yeah, the valid answers are yes, no, or if you write another answer, let's say anything, it will ask you again. So it won't a clear answer, yes or no. Or you can just type y or n here from the function. So this is the first function in our main function. Next, we get the player's name. So after this, let's say we said yes or we said no. If he said no, it will ask you again what the number of the players you want. If you said yes, yes, 2, yes. I said yen, so it was valid. I said yes. So enter the name of the player 0. This is in the function get player name. So the function is 2 lines. The documentation is 6 or 5 lines. So we have an input. This input is a not restricted. So because a player can choose their real name, they can choose a nickname to play with in this game. So we don't restrict any name in the program. We have a for loop for every player. So you have two players. Player zero, let's say his name is Ahmed. Player one. So we have two players. It should stop after zero. Let's say the second player's name is Omar. So after that, it will list again the people. So here in the return line, we have return validate player's name. So this is to ensure that you write the right names. Here's the validate again. We have a while loop. We have a try an exception to avoid invalid inputs like yes or no or else. It will prompt you again. Yes or no is a restricted answer. So let's say no. If you said no, it will ask you which player do you want to edit, which player number. You will write the number. So player zero is Ahmed. So let's say we want to change this player's name. We will write zero and let's say give him any name. Let's say Hamza. It will change the name for you. So this is to ensure that uh, you can edit anytime you want to edit the player's name. So after that, let's say yes. Here we have how many rounds do you want to play. So where is this prompt is here. After we get the names, we get the number of rounds here and the player score from the collect scores function. So let's go to the collect scores function. Here it is. So it will ask you how many rounds. You have to the input we have to be an integer. You can't play 2.5 rounds. So if you put anything except an integer, it will prompt you again. Let's say any letter K. This is an invalid input. You have to put, let's say, 2 rounds. So after that prompt, this is round one. Did Hamza score? The first player did the first player score? So let's say yes, he scored. So in a real game, it will be dependent on the sensor in the basket to determine if the player have scored or not. So here we don't have access to the hardware, so we this is just a software to record. It will ask the user will enter the answers. Let's say Omar didn't score. No. Round two, Hamza scored. Yes. Did Omar score? No. If we put any invalid puts, it will prompt you again. So let's say he scored. Here we have the plot of the data. We have Umar for the first, or Hamza for the first round scored. Scored. The score is one. This is the score. The line, the dot line, the dashed line is for the interpolation of the values of the scores. So let's say you have to you want to predict, for example, for a long game, will Hamza score for the next round, the probabilities and the possibilities of that. So this can help you. We have also Omar who did score is the first round and scored is the second round. So this is the interpolation. This is all done in the. We have here the game analysis. Hamza scored 2 points. Omar scored. So this is everything related to the scores and points. The highest score is 2, the lowest score is 1, the average score. So this is here is not meaningful, but if you have more players, it will be more meaningful. So you can know who's the highest player scoring. You can know the average score points for the players, the lowest who did score the lowest, and like that. So it prompted here that game results have been saved to, this is an Excel file. So we save the output, the score of each round in the Excel file. So this is analyze scores. So this is related to everything analysis like high score, average scores, and like that. We use max, min, and sum to sum over the length. So this is the average, and we print that. We have plot and interpolation for the data we are given from the user. Of course, we interpolate. We have here empire space for 100 points in the range from 0 to round. We have the plot for scores. We have the interpolation, which is linear, and we plot every with the dashed line. We determine the size of the dot or the points. We have a grid. We have a legend here. We label X and Y. We have a title, of course. And for rounds, we did we convert rounds from an integer to an array with a range. And after that, we save the scores to the Excel file. So this is the Excel file. After that, we have a little thing here. This is to ask the user if he want to analyze with the previously saved data in the Excel file. So the Excel file will be created as first round, but if you play it again or if you run the program again, it will take the previously saved data, so it will not override that, and it will analyze the game with this game with the previous games. So let's say, of course, we don't have previous games. Let's say yes. We have previous games. So this is previous games. We have Hamza before. We have Ahmad before who played. We have the scores here. It's not because Hamza didn't play that game, and here is none because Ahmad didn't play this game. So as many players we add, it will score every game had been played on the program. And if you want to delete that, of course, you can go to the Excel file and delete it. Or we can, of course, put another option in the program. So we have an endless possibilities. Thank you for watching. So this have been the basketball arcade party game. Thank you for watching.